Week 2 is on the horizon of this fantasy football season. Hopefully week 1 treated you good. I have some news, updates. I have a schedule for week 2. And I have a couple pickups and a guy you might want to trade for a little bit later in this video. First, a little bit of news. Ben Tate will be out for week 2. Rumor is he may miss week 3 also. I've got his replacement mentioned a little bit later in this video, so stay tuned. Jordan Reed has a hammy injury. It is graded mild, but he will probably miss this week. I have a lot of questions on whether you should drop him or not. No, hang on to him. Doug Martin missed practice with the leg injury, which is also being considered mild, but I'm not sure whether he plays or not. It will be a game time decision, but if he does not play, you might want to go up and pick out Bobby Rainey, who will take over lead back duties for Tampa Bay. Cam Newton had a full practice this week, which is good because he's already been ruled to play week 2, which is helpful if you had him in week 1 and couldn't play him. Bernard Parris will also take over starting running back duties for Baltimore. Definitely take a look at him. Also the backup is one of the most picked up running backs in fantasy football this week. We'll talk about him in a couple minutes. Dwayne Bowe is coming back off his 1-game suspension. He'll slide right back into wide receiver 1 duties against Denver. I have him ranked about a wide receiver 3 this week. Keep updated as to what I feel like he could do this week. Andre Ellington, we all know the drama that went with the foot injury. He could be out 3 to 6 weeks. We don't know if he's going to play. Well, he played Monday night. He was very good. Chances are he will be limited practice all through the rest of the season with this foot injury, which experts are saying will not get any worse. So that's awesome. If you're an Andre Ellington owner, I would be very careful with him. If you can get him for a song in fantasy football, I might throw a cheap little offer out to see if you can get him. Now, here are a couple guys that are being snatched up off the waiver wires like hotcakes. Justin Forsett will be backup duties in Baltimore, but people love him a lot. He's owned in 54% of leagues, and he went 70 for 1 touchdown after Bernard Parris fumbled. Allen Hurns, the undrafted wide receiver, we all heard this story. I'm not super high on him, but he is owned in 47% of leagues. He went 4 for 110 and 2 touchdowns. Not quite sure he'll duplicate that, but I mean, everybody else is going to pick him up. I advise I wouldn't waste a roster spot on him. Steve Smith, I was very high on, owned in 60% of leagues. He went 7 for 118 and a touchdown. Huge on him. If he's available in your league, go pick him up. He will only have games like this all season long. I expect a huge season out of Steve Smith. Dwayne Allen, tight end in Indianapolis, owned in 27% of leagues, went 4 for 64 and a touchdown. And Josh Gordon, I believe Josh Gordon will be reinstated by week 3 whenever the union gets to vote on the new drug policy. Look, if he's available on your waiver wires, he's a definite stash. He is a number 1 wide receiver and will play like one. And my trade for the week, people are panicking and getting rid of this guy like crazy. I just traded for him for nothing, is Zach Stacy. If you can get Zach Stacy for nothing, go for it. He had a very down week, 11 carries for 43 yards and no touchdowns, but he will only get better. Prey off of people that are panicking right now because there are a lot of studs. Jamal Charles is another one who had a down week and people are panicking. You can get these guys for nothing right now. And now for your week 2 schedule coming up, you have Pittsburgh at Baltimore, Detroit at Carolina. You have Miami at Buffalo, Jacksonville at Washington, Dallas at Tennessee. You have Arizona at the Giants, New England at Minnesota. You have New Orleans at Cleveland. You have Atlanta at Cincinnati, St. Louis at Tampa Bay. That should be a great matchup. You have Seattle at San Diego. You have Houston at Oakland, the Jets at Green Bay. You have Kansas City at Denver. You have Chicago at San Francisco. And finally, Philadelphia at Indiana, which should be a slobber knocker, as they would say, for high-scoring games. For more fantasy news and updates, follow me on Twitter at Dennis77Farrell. You can follow me on Facebook, Dennis Farrell, Farrell. Shoot me an email if you have any last-second starts, waiver wire ads, trade questions, Dennis77Farrell at gmail.com. And as always, Hail Hydra.